Eligio Bishop is a controversial online spiritual teacher. He is a victim of swatting and now malicious prosecution. Before we get into the malicious prosecution, I want to show you a timeline of the multiple accounts Mr. Bishop's online critics have swatted him. Now, what is swatting? Swatting is the action or practice of making a prank call to emergency services in an attempt to bring about the dispatch of a large number of armed police officers to a particular address. The following will show swatting in Mexico, April 2019. There was no visual footage taken for this SWAT, but we have police documents showing that they did their research and found nothing wrong. After they investigated everyone, we were released and proceeded to travel to Nicaragua. Swatting in Nicaragua, June 28, 2019.
You want to come and see in the house? Come. Here, I'll go. Just keep court. Yeah. It's the key, bro. No. And then it's probably good we went to the embassy already know that stuff too. Because they already know. Yeah, they already know what's going on. And we did basically. Okay, no, nothing, no problem. So we're gonna see what's going on. This is what I have to go through with trolls, bro. This is what I have to go through with trolls, bro. Let the U.S. Embassy know I'm being harassed. You feel what I'm saying? I'm being falsely accused, y'all. So we about to head out. See what's going on with that. And it's not true. That's crazy. They're forcefully accusing me right now. So you try to see what's going on. We got the police out here. This is what my trolls do to me. They out here with guns and everything. Come back with us. Come, take it in. Yeah, they got Chief in there right now. He can't be being detained. He didn't do nothing. No, let us in, man. Let us in. We in the whole entire police compound, bro. These are all one police station. Oh, they made a left up there. I'll see where they made the left. See what they did. They telling us to park here.
Nicaragua police separate Mr. Bishop from the family and arrest him at Nicaragua's political prison. Fortunately, we find a Spanish-speaking lawyer to explain to Nicaragua police the online critics are posing false allegations. After 3 dreadful weeks, Mr. Bishop is released.
That shit was crazy what I went through, man. Like, I want to let y'all know everything that happened to me. My haters, as usual, they done this to me in Mexico, they done this to me in Belize. A bunch of them will call the U.S. Embassy and with the clipped up videos and all the things that they have to say about me. And they will make an alarm trigger. They contacted the local police in Nicaragua, my haters, actually. They call it gang stalking or whatever. So they called the police. They sent the videos of all kind of stuff. You know how they make me look online. They sent it, and Nicaragua was alarmed by that. Nicaragua had made up something to get me to come investigate me and to make sure that this wasn't true. They take me to this political prison, and 24-hour lockdown. I was treated like their worst prisoners, and so at first when the officers pulled up at the house, I'm like, all right, cool. I already been through this before, like in Mexico. They're gonna come. My haters told them a whole bunch of stuff. They're gonna investigate everybody. They're gonna find out it's not true, and they're gonna let us go. Boom. So I already knew that was gonna happen. Nah, not Nicaragua. So Nicaragua treats me as if I did the shit. You know what I'm saying? They locked me up like I did it.
Swatting in Panama, December 4th, 2019. But Panama police swat us while we're at the beach. They had everyone get on their knees with their hands in the air. They took us all to the police station, but only arrested Mr. Bishop and a few others. Once the police find no actual evidence of the false allegations our critics put online, their solution is to deport us back to the United States. Eligio spends 4 days in Panama jail until he is deported. Swatting in Hawaii, June 11th, 2020. In Hawaii, our online critics sent their clipped up videos to Hawaiian police, which then led to us being harassed by the Hawaiian people.
Get off this island, dog.
You're our fucking island.
Yeah,
because you don't fucking belong here and you don't respect our
You
culture.
trying to be like me, I'm trying to be like you.
Shut up.
Oh, okay, y'all trolling?
No, send your address if you're not scared, bitch.
Send your address.
What's your address?
Why you hating like that?
I know you live by Big Island. I live Big Island too.
Why you hating like that?
Cause
You don't
what
fucking
you do?
belong here.
Why? What I do to you?
People be putting out a lot of shit about you guys being up to no good out here.
Yeah, you guys got like all these bad headlines and whatnot, but you gotta understand where us as locals are coming from.
The Hawaiian people did not want us on the island due to the videos that they seen from our critics. They used quarantine regulations to officially remove us from the island.
Chelsea Davis joins us with new reaction tonight. Chelsea.
Yeah, he said court documents said a YouTube video published on Monday showed the defendant, Eligio Lee Bishop, at Carl Smith Beach Park petting a sea turtle. He had just arrived in Hawaii the day before and signed paperwork saying he would quarantine for 14 days.
To essentially tell them you're either going to stay in jail or you're going to leave the island. I don't know if that's appropriate once it sees the light of day.
38-year-old Eligio Bishop stood in his cell block at the Hilo jail, cuffed, attending his initial court appearance virtually. His attorney argued that his bail be reduced from $4,000 to $1,000. The judge declined. She says there are still people staying at that vacation rental today.
Very professional. They're doing their job. Very professional. Before you leave, right? Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, quarantine violation. For your mask, bro. I got you.
With Hawaii leaving us with the only option to either stay in jail or leave the island, we eventually decided to leave the island after being detained for 3 days. Swatting in Puerto Rico, June 2021. The online critics find Eligio's location and send police to harass him.
What did I do? I post something on YouTube?
Yeah, video.
Of what? Of what? Wait. Okay. I'm live, you guys. I'm right here. Like, I didn't do anything. Call the lawyer, bro. Call the lawyer, bro. Call the lawyer. I didn't do anything. I didn't post anything on YouTube. They posted on YouTube. I didn't post it on YouTube.
No, nos enseñaron 2 videos que él la pone a pelear. Que quiere que pelee.
They're lying. That's what I'm saying to his trolls.
The video that you unloaded. What's going on with those?
I didn't upload any video. I have trolls that follow me.
Okay.
Right? And they be trolling me. Everything I do, they be trolling.
The police then told him to leave the island. After swatting in Puerto Rico, it then starts in DeKalb County, Decatur, Georgia. Next, you will see critics calling DeKalb County police making false reports on Mr. Bishop. It will also show police body cam visuals of them coming to his home multiple times.
I don't know. I was going through the call history out here. And it's like it's you almost all the time. It's the same phone number.
We have a lot of. This isn't the first time that this has happened. We have online people online trolls that keep calling, harassing them.
We got trolls online. My name is Nature Boo. I'm an online guy.
No, I saying Bishop.
Huh?
Bishop.
Yeah. So the trolls online, they keep calling the cops just to get attention to us. So that they can do.
Well, let me ask you a question, because it seems to be, because I was doing a little research on the way over, seems to be one person. Do you know who that one person might be?
Well, this is a group of people. It's probably World News. A dude named World News.
Well, it's the same. It's, on most of these calls, it's the same phone number, which leads me to believe it's the same person that's doing it.
Yeah, they're trolling us. They're just doing that to troll us.
How do they know where you reside now? How did they track down your address?
Well, on my house, they look up like things that look, you know what I'm saying, similar, and they look up online, and then they find your address, and they post it online, and they play with you. Like, y'all come in and check if y'all want. We ain't got
Are you sure then that way we can maybe add comments so this doesn't keep happening constantly? So everyone's safe here, right?
Everybody's safe.
Everyone's free to leave whenever they want.
Absolutely.
They just be playing with us online.
Okay. I'm going to add some comments to the call, so maybe if the next officer that gets a call can see the comments and is aware, okay?
Right.
So
I'd rather y'all come in and check and see that the trolls is playing with our life. Right? If you go to Nature Boy on here, you'll see that people make money off talking about us. But this is my classes and everything. But look, right? If you just put Nature Boy in here, there's people that watch us and they say little things. It's trolls. Like they say stuff about, like if I'm online talking and teaching,
They'll clip 1 minute.
they'll clip 1 minute of it and be like,
take it out of context, kind of.
rumors. So it's a whole thing. It's like a whole community, and it's like a little small percentage of people that don't like me, and so they'll order food or they'll send the cops. So it's just trolls. They haven't seen us in a couple of days because we've been like falling back. And
actually, it said that. It said they haven't heard from her and to that, but they did. But
try to have a better night, okay? Okay. You guys take care. Hopefully, it'll die down. So hopefully, again, they'll leave you guys alone. You guys can do your little business. All right? Thank you guys so much. Right?
I love your outfits and your stuff. Take care.
He's giving you a handshake.
Oh, you don't have to take care. It's nice to meet y'all.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
So you take care.
All right, no problem. Thanks.
Black man is God.
Absolutely.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Oh, the ladies are right there for you. They downstairs.
What ladies?
Whatever the call was for, the people downstairs. Bro, you see what I'm talking about, bro?
I don't know. You okay? I see you enjoying yourself.
I'm enjoying myself.
Everything good?
Is everything okay?
Everything is okay. Everything good.
I know. We just got another call out here. Okay. Once again, hopefully this is. I don't know who this person is.
What's up, G?
Man, listen, did you say one thing on your live?
What?
Let me holler.
Did I say one thing? What?
Nothing wrong with preaching.
We don't believe in harming no kids. We don't believe in harming animals. We don't believe in harming the earth. We don't believe in harming human beings. We are peaceful people that teach meditation and living in tune with the universe. That's the opposite of what we're teaching. But that's the trolls, though. People that don't agree say that to bring cops over here to make a scene. But that's what we've been going through, and you know that. I try to let them know it's a weird people behind the internet that, you know what I'm saying, there's weird people that don't like you behind the internet, and they just call the police to the house. That's it. All right, good, man.
Y'all be good.
DeKalb County Police went to Eligio's home a total of 27 times. Here is an example of the phone calls DeKalb County Police were getting from Eligio's online critics.
You call this number often to check this location. What's going on that you're calling? That you're making multiple calls to 911 in reference to this house?
Sometimes they're sleeping in the garage, and it's not that gentleman's house.
This is what?
Do you know this? Is this the young man that someone said that he's called Nature Boy?
Yeah.
Nature Boy. Yes. We've been out here a bunch of times because people call, and we've checked on the ladies there. We've spoken to them several times. I've been out here on day shift, during the daytime when people have called, and everybody that lives here seems happy. They say they know they're in a polygamy relationship. So, I mean, there's nothing we can do.
I would like to make note that that if the guy doesn't have his name on the lease, or he's possibly forcing his sister to allow him to stay there, then he should be removed from the premises if he has all these people living in a house?
Well, it's only the owner can have him removed from the premises. Are you the owner?
No, but a lot of people are not allowed to live in one house.
I mean, people can live as many as they want. There's no rules or regulations to how many can live in a house.
Thought you had to like have your name on the lease.
No, I mean, it's a private residence. It's a private house.
I didn't even know polygamy was legal.
Well, who's to say that they're, you can legally have a sexual relationship with anybody that you want to.
He's married to one person, but he has 3 other women living with him.
Well, and that would be up to, that's an alternative lifestyle, but it's not illegal. Ma'am, we filed a report, we've done this, we can't continually every 2 or 3 days come by and drive by his house and harass him.
If there's like 20 people sleeping in a garage, is that illegal?
Not if somebody wants to allow people to stay in their garage.
Here's documentation from the DeKalb County Police Department stating that the online critics are making false reports of a crime. They failed to swat him in DeKalb County with their false reports, so they needed to find another way. And they used Janae Newell, also known as Natiri. Swatting now turns into a malicious prosecution. Malicious prosecution occurs when a police officer or other government official causes criminal charges to be filed against the person when the official knows probable cause is lacking, and the charges are filed because of personal animosity, bias, or some other reason outside of the interest of justice. In such cases, the victim's 14th Amendment right to liberty has been violated. An arrest is found to violate the 4th Amendment because it was not supported by probable cause or a valid warrant. Elements of a malicious prosecution include 1. A prosecution instituted maliciously, 2. Without probable cause, which 3. has terminated favorably to the plaintiff. Now, let's break down how this prosecution was done maliciously, starting with the alleged victim's initial police report done March 30th, 2022.
So this happened today, right?
Well, this happened, yesterday. I tried calling yesterday.
But you didn't call?
I did call, but I wasn't in the area. So my name is Janae Newell. I was recently, here's my ID, a part of a cult that's known as a sex cult.
Natiri has known Mr. Bishop for over 6 years, and she has never referred to the tribe as a sex cult. That reference is only used by online critics.
And they're located here in Atlanta.
So you were part of this cult?
Yeah, this cult.
Okay.
And the person who runs it, his name is Eligio Bishop.
Is this your boyfriend or no?
Yeah, he was my boyfriend at the time. Let's say that.
So what happened today?
What happened the other day, because I left already. I left like some days ago, and I wasn't back there. But what happened is he's doing revenge porn on me online, and he has a big presence online. So he's posting porn of me and him without my consent online right now. And I'm just filing that report because that's wrong. He can go to jail for that. So that's why I had to escape. I had to sneak out because he wasn't allowing me to leave.
And you didn't call when you got out?
No, because
when you escaped? Yeah,
I didn't call him. I already left that facility.
But did you let him know? Like, did you call him and let him know, like, hey, you can't be posting that, you know?
No, I didn't call him. I didn't let him know anything. I didn't get in contact with him at all.
Text him to let him know? I mean, did you make videos with them? Consensual videos with them at the time? Because how does he have those videos?
Of course, like when we're together, you know,
okay, so did you text him and let him know that, hey, you can't be posting him? Because he's gonna be using that against you. You know what I mean? Yeah, but you didn't text him to say that, hey, you can't be posting that. You know? I would just let him know, like text that, like, you know, hey, why are these videos? Did he text you say, hey, I'm gonna release these videos of you for revenge? He didn't say, hey, I'm doing this because of this. Okay.
Officer Hugh asks 3 important questions. 1, did you tell him to take the videos down? She replies, no. 2, did he say he was posting it for revenge? She replied, no. And 3, were the videos consensual? She replied, yes. Let's continue.
So there's not going to be any, you know, until I do this, then you guys are not going to go.
Yeah, we can't. So basically what he did was posted a couple videos of you without your consent, right? On Twitter. Anything else?
He also had his women abuse me, like jump me. So that's another thing.
But yeah, I would not join any more cults.
It is important to highlight here that she said nothing about rape. It is obvious that the T, one of Eligio's online critics, told her to go to the cops for revenge porn. After she goes to the police for revenge porn, the very next day, she does an interview with the T on March 31st. At this point of the interview, she says that her and Mr. Bishop make love.
So I go back inside. I go back inside to tell him bye. And I hug him and he says, I love you. And I said, I love you too. And so he takes me into the other room and I start crying in his arms. At this point, I'm looking at him in the eyes and me being dumb, I got manipulated back in. Literally, like I couldn't resist him in that moment. In that moment, I was really vulnerable and he knew exactly what to say to me to help have me stay there with him. And yeah, we did make love in that moment. And yeah, we did make love in that moment. Make love in that moment. And I'm just like being a stupid ass, like letting him manipulate me back into the situation and allowing him to have sex with me. Allowing him to have sex with me. Have sex with me. So at this point, I'm just like, oh my God, I'm stupid as fuck because I'm a sucker for fucking love.
Notice that nothing about rape was said until the T, Alice Castor, planted the idea.
Do you realize that what he did to you before you left was, do you think that it was truly love making or making love to you? Or do you feel that it was, that it was coercion, which is pretty much one step down from, sexual abuse?
Pay close attention how Natiri responds to the question of, did you experience sexual abuse?
No, I know that it wasn't love because it just felt fake. It just felt like he was acting and just to keep me, like I'm just some kind of trophy to keep and not share with the world. It's just, I'm just something to just collect dust on the shelf. And I felt stupid. I felt real dumb because I'm supposed to be this strong ass woman, but I fell right back into it, So yeah, I know it wasn't real. I knew that he was like just having sex to me just to have sex with me so I can stay, thinking all I needed was dick, and that wasn't it. What I wanted was love, real genuine true love for him and the family, forgiveness, and I didn't even get that. So I just wanted to leave at that point.
In this next part of the interview, you see the T coercing Natiri to press charges.
I just want to let the audience know that, guys, I did ask her earlier on in the interview if she was, going to go to the authorities and, file charges for the assault the multiple assaults that have happened to her before she left. And she did say that she was addressing this on her own. And so we have to leave it in her hands and, see what happens from there. But she was asked that question already. So guys, please stop saying that she should press charges. We have absolutely let her know that, that's what she should do. And I absolutely support you 100% because you were assaulted.
Alice Castor is coercing Janae to press charges on Eligio Bishop. Now that the idea of rape is planted in Janae's mind, 7 days later, she calls the police back. It reads, April 7th, 2022, Miss Noel called back and stated she would like to speak to us. If you got raped, why didn't you tell the police that the first time? Why didn't you initially tell them that? Because the idea was planted in her head after doing the interview with the T. The T coerced Janae to press charges so they can finally meet their objective of getting Mr. Bishop locked up. She calls the police back, and now the story changes. But remember in the initial police report when Officer Hugh asked if there was anything else?
He did, it was posted a couple videos of you without your consent, right? On Twitter. Anything else?
He also had his women abuse me, like jump me. So that's another thing.
Notice that when the officer asked her if there was anything else, she never says anything about rape. Now we're going to go into the interview that she does with Detective Moore and Panosium 7 days after her initial police report. At this point in the interview, the detectives and alleged victim are joking over a serious matter.
Uber's outside, and I try to go upstairs to say bye to the king, and I'm just going to call him the king because that's the subject to
Nature Boy.
Nature Boy. Yeah, Nature Boy.
I've seen several videos.
Oh my God. Thank God someone knows what I'm talking
We're
about.
a little
my
familiar.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. All right, so I can just talk normal now. Okay. So.
Elements of a malicious prosecution has terminated favorably to the plaintiff. At this point of the interview, Detective Moore expresses his malicious intent to lock Mr. Bishop up.
So let me explain how I come to find out about this. This is probably 2 months ago, maybe 6-7 weeks ago. I get a phone call from this Hispanic lady. But so she told me to look these videos, so I looked up, that's when I started watching these videos. And I'm in awe of what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
So that's how I got familiar with that.
Yeah.
And I would just watch videos, not believing what the hell I was seeing.
Yeah.
And another detective was familiar because I showed him these videos. He's like, he's been trying to get this Nature Boy for a minute because of some things he's seen online. Trying to get this Nature Boy for a minute because of some things he's seen online. And then here you are. He is, I'm just going to use it. To me, he's like a real good car salesman.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got the charisma. I mean, it's, you know, it's understandable. He gets everybody with his charisma, like you said. But it is what it is, you know. So let me real quick go back. When you went back up to say goodbye, he pulled you into another room.
Janae never said Mr. Bishop pulled her in the room. Here's what she describes.
He physically was not going to let you leave.
Yeah, he pushed me, he let me into the other room, led me into the other room.
She clearly says he led her in the room. In the case notes, they have that Mr. Bishop moved her to the room. Next, Detective Moore coerces Janae Newell to press charges. He blatantly states Mr. Bishop needs to be jammed up.
I think we've got a pretty good case here. I mean, really, I do. But it all, for now, comes down to you. Because if you saddle and prosecute, I mean, we've got nothing.
Detective Moore admits that the state has no evidence, so they're relying on her word to pursue a malicious prosecution.
This guy needs to be jammed up. He needs to go.
I think he needs to put in a mental hospital so he can get help.
Well, they got that in prison.
Yeah, I want that.
Okay, but here's the thing, and I understand you still got feelings for him, okay? And I get that. But he's not a good man.
I thought he was.
Well,
he might have used to be. You know, it's one of those things.
He knew
the
what
power.
he was doing.
Yeah.
He's been knowing what he's doing. Okay, he's like probably, I mean, the biggest narcissist I think I can ever remember actually seeing.
Yeah.
And to thank your God, the guy is not a good man. You ever overhear them ever talk like, hey, this guy's a fucking clown?
No, they never talk bad about him.
He sounds like he could probably go both ways.
Right.
Well, he needs to continue that in prison. I'm sorry, that guy is just not a good person, not a good human being. He don't need to be out here. And I tell this to a lot of people, you need to come first before him. Okay? I mean, you're wanting something good for a guy that's been bad.
Yeah.
Okay?
Elements of a malicious prosecution prosecution instituted maliciously and without probable cause. Charges are filed because of personal animosity, bias, or some other reason outside of the interest of justice. Not only does Janae say they made love in the T interview, she also says it in this interview to the detectives. There are 3 times Janae mentions sex with Mr. Bishop. All 3 times will be played. The first time.
And that's when then he made love to me.
The second time.
And at this point, he's looking me in my eyes and telling me this and that and the third. We make love.
Once again, she states, we make love. Here's the third time.
And a part of me just gave it to him because I did, still care for him.
She says this, but the detective's case notes, arrest warrant, and affidavit were completely different to what Noelle states in her interview. To begin, let's look at the discrepancies in the case notes. These statements are all filled with little white lies. We will be focusing on the most important ones to prove that this case was done maliciously. On the second line, it reads, she stated she continued to tell him she wanted to leave, and he became irate. In none of the interviews does Noelle describe Mr. Bishop as irate. The next point is on the 4th line. It reads, she continued to ask to leave and began crying. The detectives worded to make it seem like Noelle is in danger. But let's play back what she actually says.
I hug him and he says, I love you. And I said, I love you too. So he takes me into the other room and I start crying in his arms.
That doesn't sound like she's in any danger to me. The next point is also on the 4th line, reading, she stated Mr. Bishop began to attempt to have sex with her, and she told him no, but he continued.
Then he made love to me. He's looking me in my eyes and telling me this and that and third. We make love.
And yeah, we did make love in that moment.
The next point is on the 5th line, reading, she stated they made love because she didn't want to fight him off any longer. Let's play back what she actually says.
A part of me just gave it to him because I did, still care for him.
What she actually says is, she gave it to him because she has feelings for him, not because she was tired of fighting him off. Now we are going to expose the inconsistencies in the arrest warrant. In the arrest warrant, it describes the situation completely different from the alleged victim's actual statements. It uses words like forcibly and against her will to criminalize Mr. Bishop. It continues to read that he forced himself in her. How is this even possible when she only described it as lovemaking? The detectives also put this in the affidavit. Again, they say that he pulled her in the room.
He pushed me, he let me into the other room, led me into the other room.
The detectives wrote that she told him no multiple times, but he kept pursuing. The lies continue. Note, what was actually said and what's written on the paper are not the same. And this is how they got a warrant on Mr. Bishop, by not being honest. April 14th, 2022, Eligio Bishop is now swatted again in DeKalb County on a malicious prosecution. The following video will show a split screen of the SWAT outside and inside of the house.
Yo, get my wallet, my phone. My wallet. They breaking the door open, yo. We're good. We're coming out. We're good. We're coming out, no need to break anything. What's up? Don't shoot. We got a baby.
I'm reaching now. Put your hands where I can see you.
Relax, we don't got no weapon, y'all. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Back up, keep backing. Keep backing up. Yes, sir.
Backing up.
Back. Let's go.
They never informed us on why they were detaining us. They only told us that they had to take us to the police station so they could talk to us. After a couple hours, they finally start taking us to the police station.
What we're gonna do, we probably just gonna try to snatch out our guy. We got warrants on him, so we could just snatch him.
Send up. Yes, sir. Can you help me up? Yep, thanks.
I guess I just want to talk to you about some stuff.
Oh, okay.
I honestly, you know as much as I do.
Oh,
okay. I just have to pat you down and make sure you ain't got nothing.
Well, I'm not under arrest now, right?
As of right now, no. Right now you're just detained.
They just called me. They doing something.
Yeah, you.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm sure everybody, but
right.
I'm just saying they told me to come grab you.
Okay.
64? Oh yeah, go ahead.
Am I going to jail?
As of right now, no.
Oh, okay.
Right now you're detained. Now when they interview you and they ask you questions, if they charge you with something, that's on them. But like I say, I don't even know what the investigation's for. I don't know what's going on. Like I told you when I walked up to you, you know just as much as I do.
You need to get to your shoes?
Yes.
Okay. They're gonna stay right there.
This way. Is everybody ready to go? Okay, let's go then. Everybody get your stuff. We're moving out now. Period. We're moving out now. Come on. See the ones in the shed outside?
Once we arrived at the police station, they still didn't talk to or question anyone. Only Malia and Zoka were asked personal questions like, what would they do without Mr. Bishop? But no questions were asked pertaining to the charges. After a few hours of just sitting in a room without talking to anyone, they eventually drop us all back off at the house, except for Mr. Bishop. Once they drop us off, we see the warrant on the table. And at that moment, we knew Mr. Bishop was being set up. The very next day, multiple news reporters were knocking at our door.
Gio Bishop, also known as Nature Boy, is accused of rape and false imprisonment, along with other charges. Neighbors tell 11 Alive they're stunned by the allegations, but are even more surprised by what this group was posting online.
Its social accounts reaching tens of thousands of people on Instagram and YouTube. Joe Ripley, live outside the DeKalb County Police Department. And Joe, you got to speak to this group, the Carbon Nation?
Yeah, Carbon Nation, this is a group that says they abide by a different philosophy. Their leader, Eligio Bishop, appeared in court for the first time today since being arrested earlier this week at a DeKalb County home. And after a judge read out his warrants, his charges, he simply replied by saying, quote, outstanding. Neighbors there in that DeKalb County community are concerned tonight.
Mr. Bishop, good afternoon, sir.
Eligio Bishop saw a judge for the first time since his arrest earlier this week. His case now lies in the hands of Superior Court. DeKalb police arrested Bishop at this home in Decatur, charging him with rape, false imprisonment, and 3 counts of sexually explicit transmission.
He's extremely loving, extremely forgiving. Literally wouldn't hurt a fly.
This man, who goes by Captain Ace, says he's part of the group Carbon Nation. Ace calls Bishop the head of the international organization.
This is one of the most troubling experiences I've ever had.
Ace described Carbon Nation as a religious philosophy based on science, focused on living a life of principles and morals. He joined the group about 4 years ago.
I met him online. That was my initial contact with him. I seen that he was teaching knowledge that was superior to any other scholar or any other leader that I had encountered at the time.
God is a very loving being. He's very caring. He's very holy.
They insist he should never have been arrested by DeKalb County Police Wednesday night.
I came outside. Police were circling with the helicopter I seen first. Then I come to the front window. We see they're outside with guns pointed at the doors, pointing at the windows.
This is a revolving door, and you can come in and out as you please. No one is going to hold you against your will here.
Sexual education, and we believe in nudity.
Yes.
And so that's one of the charges that's trying to be brought against my chief, is for revenge porn. But the female that was here, the woman that was here, she gave consent to actually release it for sexual education. It's not just like porn, it's for educational purposes.
I did speak at length with the women there. They said that many women come and go from this organization because they don't necessarily like what they discover about themselves, and say that this is another targeted attack against Mr. Bishop.
Now, what would make a woman do something like this? The alleged victim has always been jealous that she's not Mr. Bishop's queen. Now we're going to double back into the T interview because the alleged victim says something very important. She expresses why she leaves Mr. Bishop and her true feelings of not being queen.
So, I'll tell you exactly what happened when I left Carbonation. And one of the reasons why I left is because y'all don't know, when he was trying to do the queen thing, there wasn't going to be a new queen. It was all an act. At first it wasn't. I'm thinking that I actually have a chance to like prove that, okay, well I can definitely, you know, take the queen thing and really do something positive with the cult. But nah, he was like, it was never gonna be that way. He said that it's going to be Queen Malia queen. Queen Malia queen. She's gonna remain the queen after the court thing. I'm gonna be her servant, meaning I'm gonna be her caddy. I do everything for her, and for a day or two I was her servant, and I'm gonna be her servant, and I'm gonna kiss her feet in front of the whole world. So that was the plan, and I wasn't really always okay with it, but I tried to be okay with it because I tried to think of the bigger picture about how he's saying he's about to adorn Malia and make her the queen and show how a black woman should be treated, and you know, make her the face of Carbonation. And I'm just like, all right, well, I can sacrifice, you know, me really feeling like I could do it for her to take the shine. But in my heart, I didn't really feel like that's what I wanted to do, because he said, and you're going to be in the background. And when he said that, it triggered me, because I'm like, I'm not made to be in the background, yo. I know that about myself. I'm not made to be behind nobody. I shine really bright. He wanted me to dress her up every day, you know, with the fashion that I got, all the clothes that I brought. Wanted me to do everything for her. Anything that she wanted, I was supposed to do for her. And when I really thought about it, after seeing that they didn't really respect me or cared for me at all, they just said, oh, you just brought the fashion, without even recognizing that that's not all I did. I realized that they don't love me. Like, I really love them, and I want to go. So at this point, I'm more hurt than angry. Because I ain't had time for it.
In this live, Noelle expresses her frustrations about Malia being Mr. Bishop's favorite.
A pregnant seashell that I found from the ocean put it in my hand. Hey, mister, put it in my hand. Oh, he put it on my forehead before we fucked and said, you gonna have my babies. And I believed it in that moment. And then fucking got 6 days late thinking I'm pregnant. Nigga was like, oh, I want Malia to have the baby first. Nigga, why you fucking me like that then?
Here's where Noelle screams at Malia about all the attention she gets.
She said, oh, he ain't compliment her all day. He complimented the most fucking dick. He gets the most fucking attention. He is fucking disrespectful, bro. You get all the fucking attention, bro. All the fucking love.
Noelle's various expressions of jealousy. Noelle is constantly comparing her and Malia's sexual relationship with Mr. Bishop. Here's where she mentions it in the audio interview with the detectives. She also mentions that she has all the qualifications to be a better woman for Mr. Bishop, which shows she was always in competition.
Why did he pick her over you?
Because of the sex. He says the sex is better. Even though I have all the qualifications for being a better woman for him, he says the sex is better. So he likes sex.
What would he call you to him?
He once said, I'm in his concubine. And she's the queen. Like, he literally said, Malia is queen and Materia is wife or concubine.
This is all based on Noelle not getting what she wants from Mr. Bishop. In this live, Noelle admits to working with a group to keep Mr. Bishop locked up.
Good.
Yeah, we've been working behind the scenes. No, it's okay. We've been working behind the scenes for a good minute to make this all happen. Yeah, and it's not just me. It's like a lot of people behind this. You know, people been calling in, and people have been, you know, doing their work. But I just want to let y'all know that we are doing our best to keep him locked up.
Here's a live Noel does after Mr. Bishop got denied bond.
All I can say is outstanding. Outstanding. Woo! And this is not necessarily for me, it's for our community at this point.
Note that Noel says Mr. Bishop being locked up is not for her, but for the community. And by community, she means the online critics.
And thank y'all for the support.
And I absolutely support you 100%.
Yes, no bond. The done, okay? The done. That's a fact.
Velvet, one of the prosecutor's witnesses, exposes the fact that Noel was coerced to press charges on Mr. Bishop.
I stand for the truth. I'm about the truth. You're not telling the whole truth. Period. That you've never done that. Ever. You don't even tell people how actually you were coerced into the shit that you did to Nature Boy to get him in jail and get him to the point that he's at right now. You didn't want to do that. You were coerced and talked to other people to do that.
Here's proof that Noel is lying during her interview with the detectives. Her story is constantly changing.
At that point, I just let it happen because I don't know, giving him what he wants if he leave me alone.
But here's what she says at first.
A part of me just gave it to him because I did, you know, still care for him.
Her first statement sounds more genuine, and the second one sounds like she's reading from a script. Perhaps a script from the online critics. Now, why would the online critics continue to do something like this to someone? Mr. Bishop explains it perfectly.
You have to ask, what is the motive behind it? You know what I'm saying? And now that we're getting out the truth that I'm not a pedophile, I'm not a child molester, I'm not a fugitive, I'm not running from the law, I'm not doing any of these things that they're saying, now we have to take that out. Now we know that's not the real reason why they're doing this, for the safety of the kids and all that shit. No. The real reason why you're doing this is because you're getting attention, you're making money, or you're getting some attention that you never had by yourself. You can't get attention by yourself, so you found someone that you can attach yourself to feed off their energy like a shadow being.
There are many online bloggers against Mr. Bishop, and they get paid to defame his character.
Number one to you, and number two to Malia, and then the rest of Carbon Nation, by giving false accusations, about giving false information, about giving false stories about you, about Malia, about Carbon Nation that I knew not to be true. I want to apologize to saying that you have a disease or that Malia have a disease or anybody in Carbon Nation has a disease, because I don't know that to be true, and I actually made it up for a storyline.
What kind of storyline?
Well, just in my mind, I said I'm gonna have to use Carbon Nation for my content to grab the bag. So for me, ultimately, all I wanted to do was get 10 racks. Right? That's all I really wanted to do was get 10 racks. I needed 10 racks, and I did it in the most disgusting, wrong way.
My name has been something that people can feed off to become somebody. And at any cost, people will do and say anything. And I want to point that out, that this is the motive. Because now that I'm not a child molester, now that I don't have any charges, now that I'm not a fugitive, now that all these things that you were saying that you were doing it for are being brought out to not be true, we're narrowing down the reason why you're doing it, because of attention. Because without Nature Boy, who are you?
Now, given all of the evidence that proclaims Mr. Bishop's innocence, given that he is 41 with no criminal history, and that he meets all Ayola factors, Why is it that after 1 year, Mr. Bishop still sits in DeKalb County Jail with no bond granted? Why? Because Detective Moore and Panosium are using the clipped up videos from the critics to persuade the state of Georgia to refuse him bond. Here's an email from DeKalb County detectives sent to the T, Alice Castor, inquiring about her clipped up videos of Mr. Bishop. It reads, I am Detective Blank with the DeKalb County Police Department. I am reaching out to you and inquiring of your videos you have of Nature Boy. I am aware you have been following this group Carbonation for some time and have interviewed multiple followers who have left the group. I was hoping you would be able to help. I would like to get in contact with those who have left, and if you have any contact with any currently in the home, as well as collect any videos you may have that show abuse, specifically physical abuse. The videos I have seen have not shown specific physical abuse. If you could share any information you have or videos of abuse you have, I would greatly appreciate it. I will need some information from you as well. I would appreciate it if at this time you will leave our conversation private so that we can continue to collect information before Nature Boy becomes aware. DeKalb County Police Department. Although the videos have nothing to do with the case at hand, Mr. Bishop has been denied bond a total of 3 times. In response to the refusal of bond, he's been trying to assert his right for a speedy trial since August 16th, 2022. Here are pictures showing Mr. Bishop desperately trying to put in a motion for a speedy trial because his public defender at that time, Steffi Yellen, refused. Mr. Bishop has been a victim of having bad representation for defending his constitutional rights, which resulted in none of his motions being answered and no bond. He also did not receive his discovery until 4 months later of being indicted at DeKalb County Jail. It has been extremely hard for Mr. Bishop to fight his case within jail without a bond. Quiet.